Welcome back to the Don't Frett Podcast, where I don't want you to fret about what I say, but I do want you to think about it. Now, let me tell you something. This is a big moment. First of all, we're leveling up all 2025. You see, I'm in a new set. The money's getting good. You see, we're in a new set. And also, we have another big moment. Y'all have been used to me sitting alone. I've been running my mouth by myself, very reminiscent of my childhood, but that's not the focal point of this conversation today. But we finally have our first guest of the Don't Frett Podcast. So this will go in the history books. When the kids ask me who entered the doors first, guess what they gonna say? Now, I'm a strong believer that sometimes the best people to give your flowers is yourself. So I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little mad at baby girl because she came to my home and she ate me up with the outfit. This is my house. And she decided that she was gonna outdo the host. It's okay. I'm gonna let her be a queen and I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Go ahead.
Hello, guys. And actually, Justin, thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me and sharing your space. I mean, don't take it too personal, I see how you do. So I was like, okay, I can't slack because I don't want him to chew me up when I get there.
I'm trying to match my energy.
I'm like, we got to come with it. But yes, thank you for having me. For those of you who do not know, my name is Shaniqua J, also known as Simplicity and Style on Instagram. I am a wardrobe stylist and content creator. I've been doing this for a very long time. Very, very long time.
How long is a long time?
I started styling in 2014. I've been creating content as long as I've been on social media, but seriously taking it as a job over the last 2 years.
Oh, that's recent.
Yeah.
So you were a stylist since 2014, but you've taken this seriously as a job as of 2 years ago.
Well, the content creation. The styling I've been doing for a very long time.
Okay. So what happened 2 years ago that made you say, maybe I'm going to shell out and venture off into this also?
So for me, I'm going to be very honest. The styling just wasn't consistent. It wasn't consistent. I had like a good
work, like getting work.
Yeah, in terms of work, I had a very good run, and I worked in music with artists. And as you know, like careers come and they go, and the needs are different.
Can you name drop?
Well, for those of you who follow me, you guys see. And then also, if I'm being really honest with you, I work with a lot of artists like when they first get started. And unfortunately for me, not having a big name in the styling word, I would say, when I say a big name, like, names that you have notoriety already attached to it.
Yeah.
Once they get a team, they kind of like cut all of the little people out. So it's kind of like, even if they want to work with you, they're like, oh, well, the record label said I need to be doing this, or I'm going to go this way. So that was pretty much what was happening. And I was like, well, the bills got to get paid.
Facts.
And I also had just been creating content because I loved it. I never looked at it as a job. And then I would get campaigns here and there just randomly, like, hey, how much would you charge for this? I remember my first campaign, I think I got paid $1,000. And a friend of mine who was already a content creator, she was like, are you crazy? Are you crazy?
Are you?
No, well, it depends on who you ask. But so then I started to look at it as a job and try to learn the business side of it. And I will never forget my first time negotiating my first deal on my own, because I've never had management. And to this day, no, I don't have management. I don't. I mean, it's on my thing, but I feel like if it's for me, it'll happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I am hard on myself about being like, oh, you need to have this, and just it might not be the time for that. And I'm okay with that. But they offered me $1,500, and I negotiated, and I turned that deal from a $1,500 deal to a $7,500 deal. And I was on top of the world. After that, I just was like, oh, girl, yeah. And that's pretty much how it happened for me. So I started doing both. So even when styling work picked back up, I was doing a lot more corporate things. Like I was styling like shoots for Foot Locker and stuff like that. I wasn't really in music as much. So it still gave me a lot of space to create content. So that's how it happened.
Do you feel now, you've done this for 2 years, you've been a stylist since 2014. Do you feel like you're at a point where you feel more respected in the space of being a content creator versus a stylist? Or do you still feel like you're in that limbo of not being appreciated?
I'm definitely in that limbo. I would call it purgatory because that's what it feels like.
Oh.
Because when people know you for one thing and you try to pivot, it's so hard for
box you in.
It's so hard I'm like fighting for my life. And although people have, and not to sound no kind of way, but like I've been on mood boards since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. So it's like there should be no issue with me stepping into the creative space because I've been told by people in offices like, hey, I seen you on this mood board. I've had friends that will say, you're on my campaign brief. Like, they're using your content. So it's like, if I'm on the campaign brief, why not reach out to me and have me be a part of the campaign?
Clearly you have influence.
Right. So, but people are like, she's a stylist. That's it. She can't create content. She's not this. And I'm just like, no, I am very much both. And I screaming from the mountaintops. Like, I don't want to feel boxed in because I'm so much more than just being a stylist or a content. I have so much to bring to the table. But once you get known for one thing, if you're a baker, you better not go try to be a fireman. They're going to tell you don't know how to put out no fires.
Yeah.
You know? And you might be the best goddamn fireman that they know. But they're still just not going to give you those flowers. You got to fight for it. So I feel like I'm still in that space where I'm fighting for it. But I'm not giving up. I'm here.
I mean, you never give up. The thing I think, one thing that I find to be so annoying about this space is I do think that this is something that uniquely impacts Black creatives, and you are almost punished in a sense for being multifaceted. And they believe that people turn to you for the one thing. And it's like, no, when they love you, they turn to you for everything because they're invested in who you are. And so there's people who discovered you as just being the stylist, but they were excited when you started doing brand deals. There's the people who were invested in you just as a content creator, but then they got inspired by the looks and the photography and the way you presented things. Like, we have so many layers, and they seem to be able to acknowledge that a lot with white counterparts in a way that they can't with us. You know, there's so many people who still think that all I'm going to do is scream down the street. And I mean, I am.
Listen.
I'm never going to stop.
I enjoy it.
Thank you.
Please don't stop.
But there's other things, you know, I'm giving you the looks. Y'all keep asking for the skincare. I'll give it to you when I get ready. But
because the skin is like butter.
Thank you. Thank you, y'all. Come on. Don't ever think a filter was needed here. And that's the thing that really just impacts us. So my question to you that I do wonder, do you think that if you got more acknowledged for your greatness as a stylist and more people continued to have loyalty to you and the way in which you contributed to their career and where they landed to, especially from a visual aspect, do you think you would have felt any push to be a content creator at all?
I do think so, only because I enjoy it so much before it became a job. And I think that is also the disconnect with people, you know, with it resonating that I am a content creator now because I never treated it as a job. So once you go into it and you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do for work, there's a business part of it that comes with it. And I'm going to be very honest, I'm just now getting the gist of that because I was approaching it as just fun because I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoy photography. I have a wonderful eye, like, not to toot my own horn, but... Okay, but there's so much more that goes into it, and sometimes that's just not enough for them to sell you. And I was just operating out of a space of like, this is something that I enjoy doing. I am good at it, and why not? And there are other people like, well, this is my job. I eat, sleep, breathe this. And I'm like, okay, that's good for you. But just like anything, there's some people that may go to school for fashion. I've never went to school for fashion, but I'm good at it. You can't deny that.
And been successful at it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, you know, when you got it, you got it. And I do think that, you know, even because like I still have clients that are still loyal to me. The work is not as consistent, but I still have clients. I don't want to put it out there because I don't know, but this year there's some things in the pipeline that's just coming that I'm very excited about.
Name it, claim it, and it shall be done, but you can name it privately.
Okay. Well, we're going to chat. But me just leaning more towards that and then focusing on the content creation, it's just like, I feel like both of them there was going to be a time where they both were going to exist.
They were both going to align at some point.
Exactly. Because it was inevitable for me.
You got my ear ringing a little bit because you talked about how this was like, it's just something that you love to do. It was never a job for you. And I think there's so many people who watch us in this space and they feel inspired because we have turned our passions into our purpose, and we have found a way to make this something that is not just something that we do, but it's something that can be fruitful for us in a monetary sense.
Come on.
And so I'm curious, like, do you have any advice for the people who are just naturally gifted at something they naturally enjoy doing it, and they're in limbo about whether they should really take the leap to make that their full-time job?
Absolutely. Do it. That's all you have to do it. And one thing I always tell, like I find myself saying over and over, especially when I get in my head about it, is that, small wins compound, right?
Ooh.
So even...
Wait, say that again.
Small wins compound. So even when you feel like it's just one thing, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, it's just one thing. It is a big deal because all of those small things turn into bigger things.
Yes.
And if you're naturally good at something and you enjoy doing it, do it.
Yes.
Don't let people tell you, well, you're supposed to be doing this. You can exist in both spaces. You don't have to limit yourself to what other people feel like you should be doing. So I tell myself that all the time. Like, one little thing will happen, I'll get a campaign. I'm like, I wish I had 10 campaigns this month. I'm like, but you know what? There's somebody out here that didn't get any.
Didn't I tell you how our regular is remarkable?
Come on.
I got to check myself on that constantly. Because you get used to a certain thing and you start to like really forget, and you kind of get big-headed a little bit. And you start to forget how remarkable your regular really is. I was sitting complaining the other day because I'm like, my videos usually do better than this. And somebody said, well, how many views was it? I was like, what's 100K? And I was like, okay.
And then there's people fighting for their life for 100.
Right. And it's like, I got to bring it in. My regular is remarkable. I got to bring it in. Yeah, no, that's the truth. I am curious, though. You've been doing this so long. You've been impactful in your career. You've been making the moves. How do you feel fashion has really shifted over the years from when you started to where we are now? And I don't just mean from a stylistic perspective, but I also just mean from a business perspective.
I feel like fashion now is really more about the business than it is about the art. I think... when I first got in, even just before me even getting into fashion, just even starting as a young adult, like late teens, early 20s, I think the way that even, people approach fashion, even designers, it came from a place of, a creative place of being artistic.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's been that way for the past couple of years. I think it's more about the business. It's more about the money. It's more about being accepted. It's more about the notoriety than it is about the art form. And for me, I think that is why now even the state of fashion, the way people approach fashion, is very cookie cutter. Because it's like, if I look like this, I'm going to be perceived as this type of person. I'm going to be able to be in certain rooms if I have certain items.
Come on.
It's all, I really feel like it's just a business thing. It's not more so I'm wearing this because I'm trying to express myself. I'm wearing it because I genuinely like it. I'm wearing it because I can afford it. It's none of that.
No.
It's, let me max out my credit card and I need to walk into this room so that these people appreciate me and look at me a
And
certain
they think
type
I'm
of way.
rich, and I can stunt on you, and I can try to make you feel insecure, and I can make you feel like I'm in a certain place in my life that I'm really not at. The problem with it, and it breaks my heart because I think Black all day, so I got to make it a Black conversation real fast. What breaks my heart is that we as Black folk, specifically in this conversation, has gotten so focused on this elitism and this need to show who we are and our value in a space based on what we got on. And it's more so not even what we got on and looking good in it, but what we got on and how much the price tag was when I secured what I got on. And it's in that conversation about, it's not really about the love of the art anymore. It's just about the business aspect. We have in some sense become the mascot for people who are really not even in support of that creativity.
Absolutely.
At all. We sitting around stunting on the brands that are doing noose necklaces, and we sitting around stunting on the brands who done artwork with exaggerated lips and black faces, and we are sitting around boasting up and building up their brands, and then the creative and gorgeous things that we got to do. Oh, your prices is too high.
Oh, I'm going through that right now.
Oh, your prices. Oh no, I can't pay that girl. Who do you think you are? Your prices is too high. Who's Tom Ford? Even though I love him. But
Right.
What is the conversation, and why is it that they seem to be more worthy of your dollar than your own? And then when they show you the truth about how they really feel about you, aka DEI, now you want to begin to have a conversation about, oh, we need to support each other. We need to stand by each other. Do that 365 days of the year.
Absolutely.
I beg. Now, you said that you're going through this too, so please put us on what's going on.
So at the height of COVID, I started my brand, Sutter and Melrose.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really just like something to do because there was nothing to do. I'm going to be so honest with you. I started with accessories. I was making like handmade jewelry. Like I love to just make things. I love to create. And the world opened back up and clients started calling again and there were video shoots that need to be shot. And I just took my baby and I threw her to the side and I just like, okay, we'll come back for you. You know, bills got to get paid. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So now I'm venturing into clothing as well as accessories. And I dropped my first piece, which is a maxi length suede trench coat. And people were like, oh my God, like, how are you selling $1,000 coat? And I'm just like, how am I not? You know, because before even launching, I do my research. Like I'm in fashion. Like, come on. And every designer, big or small, that offers a full-length coat to the ground that's leather. This is not faux leather. This is not polyester. This is none of that mess.
This is the real thing.
Come on. It's priced at minimum $1,600 and up.
Yes.
So I was confused at why people were like taking the time to DM me or email me and say, "Oh, I love this, but it's way out of the price range. You're too new to this space to be charging this." And I'm just like, okay.
And you're new to luxury.
Okay.
Okay. It's not for you.
And that's that. So, and I was in Louis. I was going to buy a gift for a friend during holidays. And I was wearing it around because I was just trying to get some feedback. And a sales associate came up to me and goes, "Where's your jacket from?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a part of my brand." And he was like, "If you don't mind me asking, what's the price point?" And I told him, and he was like, "You need to raise it." He looked me dead in my face like, "You need to raise it." And I'm like, only if you know that I am fighting to even get people to, you know, understand why it's priced at what it's priced at now. But I say all that to say, you know, I'm Sutter and Melrose is going to be my baby. I'm going to pour into her. I can't wait for people to see what I have coming for her. But I mean, it's going to be for who it's going to be for. And I have to be okay with that. Because people will buy, and I don't want to throw any names out there, but they'll buy from certain platforms and you'll get, you know, a cheap polyester dress and pay $300 for it.
You will.
And the structure's off. Like, it's just, so it's like, come on, let's be for real.
You did that just because of the label that it's attached to.
Right.
Yeah. Or
you want to be able to tag a certain brand because you want to be invited to that brand trip or something like that.
Yeah. That's what annoys me. What annoys me too is I think we understand the way you choose to price something says a lot about how much you feel there's value behind the thing. And I think sometimes when you're saying to somebody the price point is too high, it's an insult to the value of the work.
Absolutely.
And it's like, you need to minimize yourself. You need to make this cheaper because what you're doing here it's not $1,000 thing. And little do you know it is.
Yes.
And little do you know it took a lot of time, a lot of investment, and you got to get a return on your investment.
Exactly.
Tenfold.
I was stressed out trying to find a part. The people that did purchase it were like, "Oh my God, this jacket is so heavy. Like, I've never had a suede jacket this heavy." I went above and beyond. I went and bought a leather gauge and then like communicating with my manufacturers. Like, I'm like, no, I went through so many samples and spent so much money. And I was like, no, this is not it. We need to start over. So, I mean, when you said that, it just kind of just like made me go like, oh, I understand because I'm going through that right now. But it doesn't discourage me at all because, again, like I want people to spend money with me that's going to appreciate the things that I have to offer them.
Yes.
And the people who won't, those are not my people. And that's fine. That's fine.
It's not for them. Touched on something that I think is important and I think people need clarity on is really how do you stay motivated when people are attempting to discourage you? And in the sense of, you know, feeling like you're not being called for the way you should be, but you're on the mood board. Or, you know, people saying you're so fashionable, you should have a line, you give them one and now it's too expensive for them to support it. Like, how do you continue to keep it pushing? Because there's folks who, I've had hundreds of thousands of you who have said to me, start a podcast. Every comment since I got on TikTok was start a podcast. And I love the ones who showed up. I love the ones who are here. But we don't even have the 1% of you who made that comment.
Right.
And does it discourage me? No. But it definitely, I think, will make a person wonder, should you continue? So what continues to keep you motivated despite all of it?
And I don't want to get too like social media, Instagram-y, but there was a meme that I saw that said you have to stick to your plan and not the mood, not your mood. So for me, it's always like, because I go through it sometimes, I'm not going to lie. And my friends will be like, hey, the mood's coming on, like, you know, keep your eye on the prize. And I remember seeing that, and I actually wrote it on a Post-it, and I stuck it in like my little area that I work. And I make sure that I read it when I'm in those moments, because it's like, okay, I might not be feeling it right now, but I have to stick to the plan, right? I have to do what I need to do to get to my bottom line. And sitting in these feelings and letting these people who don't support me, you know, dictate whether I move forward or not is not something that I want to live in. So that literally just keeps me on track. But I do sometimes be like, oh, come on now. Do I need to go, like, what do I need to be doing? Do I need to be going back into corporate? Like, what do I need to be doing? And then after those feelings pass, I'll be like, girl, you bugging. Yeah. You tripping. But yeah, that was something that I saw that resonated with me, and I used that as my motivation. It's like, okay, you're not feeling it right now, but you got to stick to the plan, because you're not going to always feel it. And it might not always come from an outside source. It might just be you in your own head. Yeah. And you got to be like, this is not a part of the plan.
And the gorgeous thing, you've been doing this so long, and despite how you felt, you're still making it work.
Yes.
And so sometimes you just got to hold on to
By
that.
the grace of God. Ooh, baby.
You have to hold on to that feeling. And I don't remember who I was talking to, but, you know, there's been so many conversations about people wanting to do social media these days and wanting to get into content. And I think people need to always remember we're in a unique position in the sense that we display to you publicly our dream.
Right.
And we give you the access to see whether it worked or not. And that is scary, that is stressful, that is frightening. And sometimes it is consuming of the art. But you have to be an understanding that your mission is much bigger than this.
Absolutely.
It's bigger than the like, it's bigger than the comment, it's bigger than what the viewership is supposed to be. And what we're doing is meant to build community and reach. And though some people might not call my phone, I am honored by the amount of people who were touched by what they did see.
Absolutely.
And that got to be the thing that fuels you, even when people really don't want to support it the way you thought they were going to.
Absolutely.
And that I hold on to continue to stay motivated, because it is difficult.
Yes.
It is difficult, especially because sometimes you are as good as your last hit. It's the same thing being a singer and act. You are as good as your last hit. And it's stressful when your last hit was a few months ago, you know, and you feel like something that you thought this was the moment that you were going to have a breakthrough in your career and something major was going to come from this. And it just didn't happen that way. And you have to know something bigger is meant out of all of this.
Absolutely.
Stress. Speaking of that, speaking of the businesses, speaking of like the way the industry has kind of shifted and changed, I do get curious about something else, because you talked about being a boss, essentially, and you talk about everything. I remember when we was talking, I told you that I was really touched in a way by La Roche's comments when he said that being a stylist is a service job.
Yes.
Not only am I curious about your perspective on that, but as you talked about kind of like the work kind of dried up just a little bit in being a stylist, how do you, besides just shifting careers, like how do you navigate the understanding that like I'm a boss, this is a service job, but also know my worth in this and what I bring here when I do show up?
Well, I'm going to be very honest with you. I just recently got to a place where I was turning jobs down because, and listen, it's not easy, especially when bills is due and you're like, okay, but I had to realize that if I kept accepting less than what I was worth, I was never going to get out of that space where people were going to respect my work, respect the prices that they needed to pay me. So, and also realizing too, like, just like anything, like you see how you said everybody wants to be a creator now. The same thing goes with styling. Like, you'll see somebody that has good style and they'll be like, oh, you're capable. And people don't realize not only is it a service job, but being a stylist is so much harder than you just knowing how to put some clothes together. Because you may be able to dress yourself, but that does not mean that you're capable to dress other people.
Right.
So now when we're living in a very social world and everyone's like, okay, I have a nice style. Like I can go buy you a couple of outfits and people are like, okay, I got $1,000 for you. They're like, okay, great. You know? So then when it comes to actually hiring an actual stylist, you have to fight tooth and nail to be like, baby, that's not going to work. So I had to start being comfortable with turning things down. And that was really hard for me because, you know, the way I was brought up, it was like, you know, you always heard the term all money and good money, but it was like, listen, I was raised in hustle culture, unfortunately. So it was just like...
You grew up in New York?
Yes,
Okay.
Brooklyn, East New York, to be exact. So, a very Brooklyn girl. So, my mom worked 2 jobs for as long as I can remember. So, to her, it's like, you turning down some money. You turning down no money, girl, you better go get that. And it's like, you don't understand. So, for me, it's more like, how can I put this? I put myself in a position where I can work with clients that appreciate me. And the ones that don't, and the ones that don't get it, it's fine. It's no hard feelings, no love lost, but I have to turn this job down. This doesn't work for me. Because if I do this for you, and the next thing you know, I'll be stuck in the next 2-3 years fighting to get what I'm worth. And I had to do it. And I'm not going to lie, it was kind of hard. But I was like, it just... It's getting to a point where if I'm not respecting myself and respecting my craft, I cannot expect anybody else to do it. Because people are ultimately going to do what's best for them, what's best for their pockets, what's best for their bottom line.
Yes.
So if that means, not paying me my worth, that's what's going to happen.
And they're always going to lowball you initially.
Absolutely.
Always negotiate. I don't care how high the number is.
Absolutely. Because obviously, even though, like you said, styling is a service job, and a lot of people don't really get that it is a job. Yes. I've worked on some projects with people and they're just like, well, you're just going shopping. And I'm just like, I wish it was that easy. I wish I was just going shopping. I wish I didn't have to put thought into it. I wish I didn't have to create a whole new image for someone who doesn't know what direction they want to take their look in. Mm-hmm. I wish it was that easy. It's more than just going to pull clothes or buy clothes. It's so much more than that. And I think being in a service industry and servicing people, obviously you want to make them happy. You also want to do a great job and open them up to new things, which can be a challenge in itself. But then you have people treat you like you're a personal shopper. And nothing against personal shoppers, but there's a difference. And I think the lines are so blurred now with social media, with who's a personal shopper, who's an actual stylist. It's just, it's hard. It's really hard. Because,
wait, so let me ask you this industry question then.
Yes.
Educate the children, because I know they don't know. What is was that being shady? Yes. What is the difference between a personal shopper, a stylist, but more importantly, what is the difference between knowing how to style yourself versus knowing how to style other people?
Okay, so a personal shopper is someone who typically works in a department store or works in a store or has access to things.
Okay, so when the girls are on set for the movie and they say, can you go pick up the stuff at Nordstrom? That's your personal shopper?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So, or the person that works at Nordstrom and you come in and you guys exchange information. It's like, oh, I can just set you up on my, what is it called on the iPhone? It's like an image thing where you upload photos, like a shared album.
Yes.
And like, okay, well, I'll put you on my shared album and every time we get new things in, let me know your card's on file. I'll charge it and send it to you.
God.
Yeah, that's it.
So many of my friends been calling themselves stylists. They personal shoppers. Okay. Thank you.
So, yeah. So, because it's so easy. So, for example, if I worked in a store, let's say I worked in Saks, right?
Yeah.
I get all the new stuff in. It's nothing for me to have a Rolodex of clients and say, hey, these new Chanel's are in, this new Bottega's in. Oh, yeah, girl, let me get that. And then because people equate style with labels now, it's so easy for people to think like, oh, yeah, I have a stylist. And it's like, no, because the brand doesn't make you stylish, right? No. Just like the camera doesn't make you a great photographer.
Correct.
So that is what a personal shopper is.
Okay.
They kind of, I don't want to say run errands, but that's what it is essentially. Going to get the clothes and bringing it to the client or shipping it to the client or whatever the case may be. They're not actually putting looks together, or there's no real thought into the things that they're giving you aside from just making money and giving you access, maybe before general public or just access on limited items and so forth and so on. But with a stylist, you have someone that has taste, right? So you already appreciate their taste, okay? You appreciate their taste.
Someone who has taste.
And everybody ain't got it. And now someone comes in and they create an image for you. So you may have one and they may just make it better. They may improve on it. But essentially, I wouldn't dress you the way I would dress myself. And I do see that a lot of stuff.
That'd be the problem.
Yes.
Is they dress a lot of these people the way they want to dress.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, this needs to be your canvas. And you need to know how to create the art with this one individual. Do you have a specific stylist currently that inspires you that we would know of? You're so shady.
I love everybody, I just, I love everybody. I do. Okay. I do.
So essentially the space is lacking taste.
I mean, aside from like the obvious people that everyone knows, like the Laura Roaches of the world. Like,
are you a fan of Law?
I do like him. I do like him. I like what he has done with Zendaya. Some of his other clients I don't feel like got the same zhuzh. But again, too, it also depends on the muse because everybody doesn't have it.
Can I say something controversial about Law
Please.
real quick? I love Law. Law, I love you because I know you might see it. Because I'm definitely gonna clip this up. You know, Law, I love your bust down. I really do. And I love Law's personality and stuff. I want, and this might sound controversial, I really want him to style somebody who's not a model.
Okay. I get that.
Because Zendaya is a model. Celine Dion has a model-like figure.
Absolutely.
I think he styles a lot of people who doesn't have the average woman body.
Got it.
And I think that would be a different thing to see. And don't try coming, he styled Megan. No. No. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
She's gorgeous. She's very in shape. I just want to see the average woman. And I want to see how he works with that.
Well, if I can say anything about a stylist who has clients that are different mediums, I would have to say Colin. I love Colin.
Who you work with?
Cardi.
Oh, yes.
Come on.
Come on. Colin's tall.
Yeah.
What is he, 6'8"?
I don't know, but he's good at what he does.
He's very good.
And across his clients that he has, they have different body shapes.
Yes.
They never look the same. They are all
He's
different.
Versatile. He is.
So
that's a good example.
Yeah, I don't know how that didn't pop in my head at first. But he's obviously a stylist with a lot of notoriety. So yeah. But yeah, Colin does a really good job at having his muses, and they're all just different. Like, he knows how to work with their body type, does what works for them. And I really appreciate his work a lot.
I do actually really do like Colin. And since we talking about body types and how people is built, a lot of the kids know I was definitely built hefty. We'll talk about that later. But yeah. I definitely have been built hefty. And because I have a stylist here with me, I want to take the moment where we do a look-see back on my looks, your looks, say what worked, say what didn't work. Because a lot of things didn't work, at least for me. I know you don't have no shade for yourself. But
I don't. Unless like my teenage years, but like after, I got like 21, 22, I kind of pretty much had it together. A little bit.
For me, my style has always been fairly simple and minimal. So nothing really feels crazy. I will say that I think back in the day, I was a lot more into matchy-matchy. And so when I look back at it, it's okay, you tried a lot.
Right.
You tried too hard.
Right.
But let's look at some throwbacks. And because we in a new set with some production, I told you that money's getting sick.
Come on.
Baby, all 2025, don't be jealous of my favor. I know it's not fair. Picture number one. So, backstory, this is me in Costa Rica.
Okay.
About to, I was having my my cowboy moment. This was before Cowboy Carter even came out. Am I right? I'm Marion Recounting. That was Cowboy Carter's song, right? Wasn't that a Cowboy Carter song?
Well, Beyonce's up there, so yeah.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
Yeah.
So I lied to you. But this is me. What am I wearing? I have a random Banana Republic jean, favorite jeans ever. I have my good chocolate brown Gucci loafers. I have a Jill Sander bag, just a regular little tank. And then I don't remember the brand. I look so good though. Look at God.
I'm not gonna lie, this is very fitting for where you are.
The environment, yes. And there's a horse on the back of that shirt.
Oh. So this is very fitting. I will not lie to you.
Okay. What would you change?
Honestly, I don't think I would change anything about this.
Okay.
I really don't. You look very comfortable, and that is key. Being comfortable is key.
I was. You gotta be riding horses.
It's very fitting for the activity. It's very fitting for the atmosphere. Yes. So I honestly wouldn't change anything about this.
And fun fact, I've never wore this combination again. This was just for this.
How often do you ride horses?
I might go back to Costa Rica.
But yeah, no, I'm not mad at this at all.
I like this. Do you think I should go back to just the mustache, or do you like the chin hair? Do you like the combo?
I like the chin hair.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Number two. Now this. I just had gotten my Dior saddle. I said, okay, what do I want to do with it? And somebody on Insta kind of inspired this. Oh, who I really love is Brittany Bathgate is her name.
Mhm.
She's just like an influencer.
Mhm.
But I just love her style. It's just minimal. It's simple, but it feels fresh to me every time I see her. How would you critique this? What would we improve here?
Well, first things first, I love layers. I love layering. That is one of my favorite things to do. People don't do it well, or they overdo it, and then it just looks just frumpy and just like a hot mess.
Yeah.
But this is very clean. It's very effortless. Like, it gives, like, I didn't have to think about this. Like, I just literally went in my closet. This is what I do. So I'm happy about this. You've been doing good. Come on now.
And these are the basics.
Yeah.
Wait,
and people don't realize basics are very important.
They are.
They don't get that.
People are too trendy. What is your feeling on, like, people being trendy and, like, buying too much of what's popping right now versus what they can really keep in their wardrobe for a lifetime?
So I feel like people who follow a lot of trends, they don't have a personal style. They don't really have a direction. Because if you did have... He's trying to get me. But realistically, I don't feel like people who just buy into trends have a personal style, because there's no way that everything works for you. Everything doesn't work for everybody. And then, with body types, everything. And I think that if you hop on every single trend, you have a really dated closet. You're going to overconsume because you're going to need to shop more frequently, because the things that you buy don't last too long as far as style goes, your lifestyle choices or your body type. So that's just how I feel about trends. I mean, we all like a trendy piece here and there, but for the most part, I don't buy into trends. Like, I buy the things that I like. I encourage my clients to, buy statement pieces that can be used in the wardrobe with multiple ways.
What is one article of clothing? What is one staple style piece that every man should have and every woman should have?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to say I live and die by a good, crisp, white button-up. You need it. Right? Whether you're using it as a layering piece or not.
She didn't do that on purpose. Don't do that. She didn't do that on purpose.
You need that. And people are like, oh, why you button up? I'm not going on a drop-in spree. You will be surprised how you can use that piece.
Some of you need to start to dress like you going to an interview. Outfits is getting a little...
Well, what's really, baking my cookies lately is that athleisure wear is just everywhere. You go to a lounge, you in an aloe two-piece. Why are you in an aloe two-piece? And so it makes me feel like you didn't change from yoga this morning.
They never went to yoga.
And you probably never went to yoga.
But
for me, it's like, okay, girlfriend, you've been in that since Pilates. They're wearing it with heels and everything. It really upsets me. But I don't know how we got on that. But I'm just saying, a crisp white button-up for both men and women.
Okay.
And you need, and I just might be a little biased here because I am an outerwear junkie.
Okay, let's go.
You need a good leather jacket.
Okay, that's just being an adult.
No, because a lot of people, they don't know how important it is to have just those simple pieces. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to jump out the window. They need to be fur. It needs to be this stuff.
It changes everything.
You need that. I promise you.
It changes everything.
Basics are a big deal. They allow you to build on your wardrobe. They allow you to build in your look. Mm-hmm. It gives your look texture. It gives it layers. People don't really understand that. You can have a bunch of basics and put it together. Prime example, all of this that you have on right now will be considered basics. A basic pair of blue jeans, a wool jacket, a sweater, a white button-up.
That bag ain't basic though, baby.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you have a full look full of basics, your accessories is what make it pop. Whether it be your jewelry, your purse, it could even be your sunglasses. It could even be your hairstyle. If you want to come out with a nasty pixie or
bring my braids up.
No.
Medina did good though. Didn't Medina do good?
She did. But basics allow you to have so much more range.
Yes.
Than when you have a lot going on. Then you look busy and it's like, okay, I don't really know what's happening. But
yes. And can I say something shady?
Yes.
This looks rich. You say y'all be doing these print and all these labels and you putting stuff together because of where you brought them from. This is all basics. Nothing about the bag is basic though. But this is all and this gives rich. And I just feel like my style has always given rich.
Oh, come on now.
Go to bed, baby.
Come on, art director.
Go to bed. And them pants is ASOS. Go to bed.
Come on, art director.
Go to bed. Oh my God, do you see that body? Whew. Anyway, what do we think of the outfit?
I love this. Is very clean. It's very clean. It's giving...
It's giving campaign.
It is giving campaign, but it's also giving like Upper East Side. It is. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you. And this was not even in content days, and I'm already giving brand deal right
No,
here.
it is definitely giving
brand deal.
J. Crew, Banana Republic.
I enjoy this. This was an All Saint top. I just had gotten.
Oh my God, I used to love All Saints for their leathers. What? At one
Is
point.
Is it bad now?
It's not the same. But I want to say the height of maybe 2015, like All Saints leather. Baby. I still have a couple.
The quality of a lot of brands, like the things we used to be able to trust, it's just not the same anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, let's continue, y'all.
Okay.
Loved it. Oh, you have thoughts?
Yes.
Oh, that
no, not bad thoughts. No, I just love. I'm appreciating this because I love layering so much.
Okay.
So when I'm seeing it, it's like,
okay. You did the It's like, okay, there's a problem here.
No. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, and I see your style is very minimal.
Yes.
It's very minimal, but intentional.
Yes. I want to be comfy, but I still want to look put together. I don't want to feel messy. And if somebody hit me up and say, "Oh, let's go get dinner real quick," Justin's already dressed.
Right.
I never look like I'm taking a stroll down the park.
See, you've been doing good. See, my photos is not. I was kind of all over the place. You kind of had it together.
We're going to get to you.
You kind of had it together.
This is the hot mess. I had to do one messy.
Okay, first of all, the sneakers.
Matching the shirt. Yeah. The shirt matching the pants.
It's definitely giving matchy-matchy. I was going to say somebody's name, but I do not want nobody to come for me. But it's giving a certain rapper that likes to match from head to toe.
Wait.
But we're not going to go there. Wait, did I say that into the mic?
No.
Anyway, so yes, it is giving very matchy-matchy.
You know who she said.
This is giving me, I shop from the mannequin. It's giving, you saw this on the mannequin and you was like, let me just get the whole thing.
It's a mess.
Yeah, I don't like this.
I cringed. When I look back, I cringed. The kids did like that shirt though. I don't know where it is today, but the kids did enjoy the shirt. Okay, let's see what's next. Oh, we're on you now. Hold on.
Oh.
I came here with my basic outfits. I sent in the basic looks. I said, come on, send me a few basics. She gonna come here with a Birkin.
Okay.
And that's the thing I talked about. You came to my house being shady.
I did not. So this was what, 2016 or something? Okay, so you see layers, trench coat, white button up. I stick to my basics.
You know what I enjoy about this? There's a masculine, feminine energy to this. Is very New York to me.
That is my energy.
This is very New York to me. I like this. How do you feel about the Birkin craze?
Honestly, I think it's a bit ridiculous.
Sidebar, this is 2016. Keep going.
I think it's a bit ridiculous because I don't even think that people are buying Birkins and wearing them for what they actually were intended for. You see girls in full gowns, dinner dresses with a Birkin. That's not what it's. I mean, you spend your money how you see fit and you can wear it however you want. But, I think true luxury is buying things and using them for their intended purpose, right? And that's not happening now. And it kind of gives this elite thing, like if I have a Birkin, I'm this or I'm that. And it's like, no, you're still not stylish. Your outfit still looks a mess. I mean, you have money, you have access, and that's great and all. But are you buying it because you're appreciating the bag, which you're not, because you're handling it with gloves and you're treating it like it's a baby, which only tells me that you're not buying into it for what the brand's intended purpose for this bag is. So I do think it's a little ridiculous. And I do think that it's ridiculous that, that some women are looked at as not as fashionable because they don't have certain things. Or like, oh, you don't have a Birkin, I have a Birkin. It's just a lot of marketing and a lot of nonsense. So for me, it's just like, whatever. Like, that bag went everywhere, on the floor, in the airport, whatever. Like, because that was what it's for.
That's luxury. That's how you act. That's how you do it.
That's what it's for.
Yeah, I like this. Where's this jacket from?
That jacket's from Zara. Both of them.
Oh, there's two?
There's
it's
two.
Not connected.
There is a houndstooth jacket underneath with like some mixed colors in there. It's like a tie-dye houndstooth jacket. And I have the trench over it, over the button-up.
Ooh. And this is 2016. This could have easily been yesterday.
And I had some Louis like combat boots on. Ooh. And I love a big baggy jean.
Those are popular. Those are the...
Yes, the desert boot.
Print.
The desert boot.
Oh, I remember that.
And yeah, I was just... That's how I'm most comfortable. Like, I don't really like things too tight. I mean, obviously, when I get sexy, but for the most part, day to day, I love to be comfortable.
This is your day to day.
Yes.
Okay, let's see the next
one. Very mass femme. Oh, this is when I had green hair.
I like this.
Yeah.
And the hair matches the skirt. Now, that's the thing for me that's throwing me, though.
Well, actually, it was like an aqua green, and that's like a forest green. But I guess, yeah. And I had on like a band tee under that. And that's actually an All Saints leather jacket. That's the crazy part.
And I love that the
And
bag is
Prada
on the
boots.
ground. Let's do that.
With the Fendi little charm. Before people were dressing their bags up, people thought I was crazy about attaching things to my bag. That Kelly was actually gifted to me by my ex-boyfriend.
Pause. So you didn't have to do that.
No, I'm just
You didn't have to do that. I'm gonna move on. You didn't have to do that.
No, I just.
If you're watching Madge, you should be. She didn't have to do it. The ex did it, and that's how you do. That's luxury. That was actually very like rapper of you, kind of. I was kind of really trying to shade the rapper girls with the Birkin.
No, no.
But it's beautiful.
Thank you.
This is a good, and it's different colors, right? What is it? Pink, and then the other part is gray.
What, you mean the bag?
Yeah.
No. It's a gold. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, it's the way the lighting is sitting. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's beautiful. With a little Karl Lagerfeld, we love it. How many damn Birkins you got?
I only have one Birkin, one Kelly. Those are liable.
You just style it so well. It looks
well, I put a bunch of stickers on it now. I put a bunch of stickers on it, and those Alaya boots were like my favorite boots at one time. I still own those. And I used to love a little hat. Like I always have like a masculine touch to my looks. Like even if I have on like booty shorts, it's like I have to add something. Mm-hmm. The vest, the hat, just to bring it down a little bit. Like I've never been like a super sexual like person.
Is that the New Yorker in you think?
I think so.
Okay.
But I grew up as a tomboy though.
Got it.
So I didn't feel comfortable wearing tight clothes because I was a stick figure up until like 11th grade. So tight clothes didn't look good on me. Mm-hmm. So I had a flat stomach, so I would wear baggy jeans, show my stomach, crop top. I was channeling my inner Aaliyah. Mm-hmm. I grew up in the 90s, so yes. I grew up in the 90s, so those were my like influences, like TLC, Aaliyah, Eve. So my style reflected a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And then once I kind of started getting a little more weight on me, and I felt more comfortable showing skin and wearing things tighter, I still always kept that masculine touch to it, though.
I love that. That's balance too. Like I feel like the touch makes it from being like what this girl got on. Right. So like, okay, this is a fit. This is a look. This goes together. This brings it all together into one. I like this. Oh my God, do I need to get me a Birkin?
Oh wow, this was like 2013. This was a Givenchy era. Kanye
I remember those shoes.
Isabel Marant. I still have them.
Aren't they coming back?
Well, the new ones are not like the old ones, but they are back essentially.
That's like that style of shoe. Yes. I've been seeing a lot of girls walking around with it.
Kanye had us all in these Givenchy.
He's ahead of his time.
Tees, and this was the Barney's era. I miss Barney's. Oh my God. Nothing's been the same since Barney's closed. But this was the Barney's era, and after you finish shopping, you go upstairs to Fred's and you eat. I miss Fred's. But yeah, this was 2013.
So you need to get you on the Real Housewives of New York.
Well, I don't have a husband. Do I still qualify?
Please. Please.
Do I still qualify?
Nobody does.
Do you see how small that iPhone is? I don't even know what iPhone that was in like 2013 or 2012. Jesus.
I love that. I like that top too.
Thank you. I still have that T-shirt. I still have all of this stuff. I don't know about those jeans though.
All this stuff.
I have a 2-bedroom and all of the closets.
The shoes. I remember. Wait. Who was your inspo here? Kim?
Not Kim, but more so. I don't know.
Like you got the shoes on, you got the Yeezy top, and Kanye definitely styled her in them shoes.
I can see why you would say that, but no, she wasn't. But I can see why you would say that. But no, she wasn't my inspo. I went through this phase where I would change my hair like once a month. I needed a different color every month. This was my storm era.
You don't do that anymore?
No.
Okay.
I don't do that anymore. This was in like 2012, 2013. So before people were like wearing color things, people would look at me like I was crazy walking down the street like, she has gray hair. This young girl has gray hair. But at the time, it just worked for me.
Gray hair looks so good on Black people. I wish people it looks so beautiful on a woman with gray hair.
I loved it. I love this. Oversized tee. That was actually a tour tee.
Yeah, the Yeezy.
And somebody had went to a show and got the tour tee for me, the merch. And
somebody always getting you a gift. Can you tell us the secret?
Well,
the bag, the shirt.
Well, I don't know. People always just think of me. I mean, I'm a very thoughtful person though. Mm-hmm. So I consider people.
Reciprocity then. That's what we're seeing.
Yeah. I actually didn't buy those shoes either. Those were actually bought for me. I did it. Those shoes at the time were like $6,300 when they came out.
So part 2 of this is going to be a masterclass.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Oh, she about to drop a dime. Here we go.
I'm going to tell you something, right? And we might be straying a little bit.
It's okay.
But a lot of women want certain type of men that can provide certain things.
Come on, this is my alley.
But they come with a lot of bullshit. I'm going to be honest with you. At this time, I was a lot younger. I was dating a guy. I was in a full relationship with a guy. And he wasn't a bad person, but he had money, obviously. So there were other women. It was a bunch of stuff. And I eventually had to leave that situation. So I would never want anybody to subject themselves just for like a lifestyle. And a lot of people do it. But, you know, when everything came out, I was just like, I'm off this. And people thought I was crazy. Like, why are you not? And I'm just like, I can't do that. You know? But I'm grateful, like, for, you know, I'm grateful. I was like I guess I was a girl he was dealing with that was actually into this. So he was, because like I heard that other people didn't get stuff.
Oh, but the other people didn't get stuff?
Yeah. That's what.
Wait, but I got to ask this I have to ask this question then.
Yeah.
Do we prefer the rich men problems or the broke men problems?
Of course, we're going to prefer the rich man problems.
Case closed.
Okay, well, there's that. Okay. Oh, those are Alexander Wang. I remember those from 2012. Those are Runway. Those are, I still have those. Yeah, those are Alexander Wang. They have like a little flap in the back.
See, those are cute.
I still have those. Marnie's shirt. That jacket is actually from J. Crew. I think it was like a cashmere blend. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like you mix high and lows, I've noticed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my thing. Because some things are just not worth the money, I'm going to be honest with you.
No.
It's not.
No, some things just play around with stuff.
And if you have style, you can make it work. Everything doesn't have to be $2,000.
Because none of these looks ever gave cheap. That's what we meant.
Not even the Zara one.
When we said taste, that's what we were talking about. That's the difference between style and stylist, you know, all that type of stuff.
But yeah, those were Alexander Wang. I remember those shoes. Oh.
This is our last one.
This is D squared, my D squared era.
Those shoes are beautiful.
Yeah, those are D squared. I'm not gonna lie to you. Those shoes were made horribly. Everyone that I know that owned them, they fell apart. I still have them, but like stones were falling off. It was
do
just
you get rid of anything? You got everything?
No, I don't. I do get rid of some things. I did get rid of a pair of Dior Raf Simmons, and only because I had surgery on my foot. Mm-hmm. And after the surgery, like my left foot would not fit in these shoes anymore. And I was so sad. And I was like, I can't wear them. And I ended up selling them to someone who really, really wanted them. Mm-hmm. So it went to a good home. Mm-hmm. So I was okay with it.
There was one more last look that I want to discuss.
Okay.
And that's the look that you have on.
Oh.
Please give us a breakdown of the piece. Why did she come to I told y'all this in the beginning, and I'm going to say it one more time before we go. Why did she come to my stuff and eat me up? You don't do that in people's home.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But no, listen, don't, just because it's quiet doesn't mean it's not making noise.
Oh, it's not quiet. They know what it is.
Come on. Come on now.
Give us a rundown of the look.
So these boots I've had for a very long time. These are Vetements boots. And they're pain. They're so hard to get on and off. So I'll be in these till about midnight. But yes, these boots I've had for years.
Oh, these are thigh high.
Yes, they're thigh high.
Wow.
And this leather is like,
they're sup like a child's beautiful boot.
Vetements, they had a run at one time when they were like lit. Well, some people may say Vetements, but that's not how it's pronounced. But that's what these boots are. This skirt is from a brand called The Line by K. So it's like a small brand. And I just like the skirt. Like I like to tap into like up and coming brands. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like a little mermaid situation. Now, this jacket, we're going to have to put the designer on the screen.
We'll put the name on the screen because we just can't pronounce that.
Yeah, and I don't want to mess it up. But it's a Turkish designer. And like all of these are like real life buttons. Like I could bust out of this if somebody like ripped it. Yeah. It would literally come in two pieces. But it's a corduroy.
It's beautiful.
And the funny thing about corduroys, when I was a kid, my mother would put me in corduroys, I would die.
Yes, like going to church and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, please don't put me in a corduroy.
Story of my life.
And then now I saw this jacket and I was like,
it was beautiful. Corduroy. It's a good color. I love the buttons. Yeah. This is well done. This is
and then
great.
Accessories from Set Merrill's, and this is my YSL Artie ring I've had for like 10,000 years.
What's the mixed metal one?
The mixed metal one is from Set Merrill's. That's from my brand.
Before we go, make sure you plug your brand. Let people know about this.
Yes. So Set Merrill's is setandmerrills.com. And that is my baby. So if you guys can go over there, look around, follow, because there are going to be some good things coming. So even if you don't see anything for yourself now, there will be something for you later. I have accessories, I have clothing, and I can't wait to show you guys what's to come. Because I've been in the lab. And mixed metals has been my thing lately. This is actually 2 rings. So this is called the Surge ring, and it comes in a silver.
We can buy that? We can get that now?
Yes. This
like
comes
that.
in stainless steel with rhodium plating. And then all of my jewelry, I have PVD plated. So it's made with stainless steel so that you don't have a reaction to it. And then the extra plating that I pay for, it doesn't tarnish. So it doesn't turn your skin green. And it's plated with 18 carats. So I have it in 2 options, and I kind of just put them together to make it that mixed metal.
It's beautiful. You also see, she not only does she design it, but she's educated on her product. A lot of the girls can't say the same thing. But I don't want to get into that right now. I want to say thank you for being here. I want to say thank you for sharing this time with me. Thank you for educating me on fashion. Thank you for educating me on the fact that half of my friends are really personal shoppers.
Don't do me.
No, it's okay. They just need to be real about their job description. That's okay. And I want to say thank you for coming to the Don't Frett Podcast. Now, y'all, like I always tell you, and I got to tell you once more, I don't want you to fret about what I say, but baby, I do want you to think about it. I'll see you next week. Bye.